Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the warm welcome, complete with spontaneous applause. My name is Ursus Wehrli, and I would like to talk to you this morning about my project, Tidying Up Art. First of all, any questions so far? First of all, I have to say I'm not from around here. I'm from a completely different cultural area, maybe you noticed. I'm wearing a tie, first, and secondly, I'm a little bit nervous because I'm speaking in a foreign language now, and I want to apologize in advance for any mistakes I might make, because I'm from Switzerland, and I just don't hope you think this is Swiss German I'm speaking now here. This is just what it sounds like if we Swiss try to speak American. But don't worry, I don't have troubles with English as such. It's not my problem, it's your language after all. And I am fine. After this presentation here at TED, I can simply go back to Switzerland, and you have to go on talking like this all the time. So, I've been asked by the organizers to read from my book. It's called Tidying Up Art, and it's, as you can see, it's more or less a picture book. So the reading would be over very quickly. But since I'm here at TED, I decided to hold my talk here in a more modern way, in the spirit of TED here, and I managed to do some slides here for you. I'd like to show them around so we can just, yeah. It will approximately last like 4.5 hours till this. No, actually, I managed to prepare for you some enlarged pictures, even better. So, tidying up art, I have to say, that's a relatively new term. You won't be familiar with it. It's a hobby of mine that I've been indulging in for the last few years, and it all started out with this picture of the American artist Donald Backler I had hanging at home. I had to look at it every day, and after a while, I just couldn't stand the mess anymore this guy was looking at all day long. Yeah, I kind of felt sorry for him. And it seemed to me even he felt really bad facing these unorganized red squares day after day. So I decided to give him a little support and brought some order into neatly stacking the blocks on top of each other. Yeah. Yeah, and I think he looks now less miserable. And it was great. With this experience, I started to look more closely at modern art. Maybe. Hang on. There we go. So I started to look more closely at modern art, and I realized how, a world of modern art is particularly topsy-turvy. And I can just show here a very good example. It's actually a simple one, but it's a good one to start with. It's a picture by Paul Klee. And we can see here very clearly it's a confusion of color. Yeah, the artist doesn't really seem to know where to put the different colors, the various pictures here of the various elements of the picture. We can see here, the whole thing is unstructured. We don't know, Mr. Klee was probably in a hurry. Maybe he had to catch a plane or something. We can see here he started out with orange, and then he already ran out of orange. And here we can see he decided to take a break for a square. And I would like to show you here my tidied up version of this picture. And yeah, and we can see now what was barely recognizable in the original. 17 red and orange squares are juxtaposed with just 2 green squares. Yeah, that's great. So that's just tidying up for beginners. I would like to show you here a picture which is a bit more advanced. Yeah, what can you say? What a mess. You see, everything seems to have been scattered aimlessly around the space. If my room back home had looked like this, my mother would have grounded me for 3 days. So I wanted to reintroduce some structure into that picture. And yeah, that's really advanced tidying up. Yeah, right. See. Yeah, you're right. Sometimes people clap at this point, but that's actually more in Switzerland. Yeah, you know, Yeah, we Swiss are famous for chocolate and cheese. Our trains run on time. We are only happy when things are in order. But to go on, here is a very good example to see. This is a picture by Joan Miró. And yeah, we can see here the artist has drawn a few lines and shapes and dropped them any old way onto a yellow background. And yeah, it's the sort of thing you produce when you're doodling on the phone. And so, and here's my, you can see, now the whole thing takes up far less space. It's more economical and also more efficient. I mean, with this method, Mr. Miro could have saved canvas for another picture. So, but I can see in your faces that you're still a little bit skeptical. So, so that you can just appreciate how serious I am about all this, I brought along the patent specifications for some of these works. Because I've had my working methods patented at the Eidgenössische Amt für Geistiges Eigentum in Bern, Switzerland. And I'll just quote from the specification. Laut dem Kunstprüfer Dr. Albrecht... It's not finished yet. Laut dem Kunstprüfer Dr. Albrecht Götz von Ohlenhusen wird die Verfahrensweise rechtlich geschützt, welche die Kunst durch spezifisch aufgeräumte Regelmäßigkeiten des allgemeinen Formenschatzes neue Wirkungen zu erzielen möglich wird. Yeah, well, I could have translated that, but you would have been none the wiser. So, I'm not sure myself what it means, but it sounds good anyway. I just realized it's important how one introduces new ideas to people. That's why these patents are sometimes necessary. Yeah, I was informed by Chris that before coming to Monterey, I could expect here a highly intellectually distinguished and technically minded audience with whom one should have to adjust naturally one's language a little. So, for example, if I were to say to a friend or colleague whose workplace was in a complete mess, something like, could you clear up your desk? I can't stand to see it like that any longer. So, after all the presentations I've heard here at TED, I'd reiterate that as, excuse me, would you mind reconfiguring the product structure of the procedurally irrelevant objects on your desktop, as I just can't visualize it any longer? Yeah, anyone can understand that. So, yeah, but I think I'm digressing from the subject. I would like to do a short test with you. Okay? Everyone is sitting in quite an orderly fashion here this morning. So I would like to ask you all to raise your right hand. Yeah, also people down in the simulcast lounge. Yeah, we can see you. All right. The right hand is the one we write with, apart from the left-handers. And now I'll count to 3. I mean, it still looks very orderly to me. Now I'll count to 3, and on the count of 3, I'd like you all to shake hands with the person behind you. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Well. Yeah, you can see now, even, yeah, it's a good example, even behaving in an orderly, systematic way can sometimes lead to complete chaos. So, yeah, but we can also see that very clearly in this next painting. This is a painting by the artist Niki de Saint-Phal. And I mean, it's very clear to see in the original, it's completely unclear to see what this tangle of colors and shapes is supposed to depict. But in the tidied up version, it's plain to see that it's a sunburned woman playing volleyball. Yeah, it's...